Let me tell you about someone you probably know. Maybe it's you. He wakes up early, not because he's disciplined, but because his mind won't let him sleep. He scrolls his phone in the dark, watching other people live lives he once imagined for himself. People his age, some younger, some less talented, at least on paper. And every morning he tells himself the same lie. I'll start when I feel ready. He goes to work, does what's expected, laughs at the right jokes, nods at conversations he doesn't care about. From the outside, he's doing fine. But inside, there's a quiet frustration that never leaves. Not because he failed, but because he never fully believed he was allowed to try. There was always a reason to wait, a reason to hesitate, a reason to doubt himself just enough to stay comfortable. And over time, something dangerous happened. He stopped asking, "What could I become?" and started asking, "What's the safest way to live?" That's what happens when you don't believe in yourself. Not overnight, not loudly, but slowly, your life shrinks. So let me ask you something real. What actually happens when you finally believe in yourself? And what keeps happening when you don't? Because the answer to that question decides more than your success. It decides the size of your life. Most people misunderstand self-belief because they confuse it with emotion. They think it's something you feel, but self-belief is not a feeling. It's a relationship. It's how you treat yourself when things are unclear. It's whether you defend your own potential or abandon it under pressure. Here's the truth most people never hear. Self-belief is not optimism, it's self-loyalty. It's staying aligned with yourself even when outcomes are uncertain. And this matters because every decision you make is filtered through one silent question. Do I trust myself enough to handle what comes next? If the answer is no, you hesitate. If the answer is yes, you move, even with fear. That single difference changes the trajectory of a life. When people don't believe in themselves, they don't usually fail loudly. They fail through delay. They delay starting, they delay committing, they delay choosing. And delay is dangerous because it feels responsible. I'm just waiting for the right time. I need more information. I don't want to rush. But underneath all of that is a deeper issue, a lack of trust in one's own ability to adapt. People who don't believe in themselves aren't afraid of failure. They're afraid of being exposed, exposed as not enough, exposed as unqualified, exposed as someone who tried and didn't become more. So they protect themselves by never fully entering the arena. And the tragedy, you can't build evidence of self-belief without action, but you can't act without some level of self-belief. That's the loop that traps people for decades. When you believe in yourself, something subtle but profound changes in your mind. Your brain stops asking, "Will this work?" and starts asking, "What can I learn?" That shift alone rewires how stress functions in your body. Instead of threat, challenge. Instead of paralysis, curiosity. Instead of avoidance, engagement. Your nervous system responds differently. Your posture changes. Your voice steadies, not because you're fearless, but because you're grounded. Believing in yourself doesn't remove uncertainty. It reframes it as survivable. And that's powerful. Because humans don't avoid difficulty. They avoid unmanageable difficulty. Self-belief tells your brain, even if this goes wrong, I won't abandon myself. That promise changes everything. Here's what people don't expect. When you believe in yourself, you don't suddenly become bold. You become clear. You stop explaining yourself to people who don't understand your vision. You stop shrinking your goals to fit into other people's comfort. You stop outsourcing decisions to opinions. Your standards rise, not for others, but for yourself. You don't believe in yourself because you're special. You become capable because you decided not to withdraw from yourself. Self-belief is not self-confidence. It's self-commitment. It's choosing to stay in your own corner when results are slow. It's continuing to show up when motivation fades. It's refusing to treat temporary failure as a permanent identity. Every time you act despite doubt, you send your brain a message. I am someone who can be trusted. That message compounds, and eventually belief becomes identity. Believing in yourself doesn't guarantee success. It guarantees something more important. You stop living with regret. You stop wondering, what if I had tried? What if I had trusted myself? What if I hadn't quit so early? You trade certainty for aliveness, comfort for growth, excuses for responsibility. And yes, it's uncomfortable, but it's also honest. At some point, everyone reaches a quiet crossroads, not a dramatic one, a subtle one, where you either continue doubting yourself to stay safe or believe in yourself and accept the cost of growth. There is no neutral choice, because not believing in yourself doesn't keep you still. It moves you backward, slowly, invisibly, politely. Believing in yourself is not confidence. It's courage, practiced daily. If this resonated with you, subscribe to this channel, not for motivation, but for perspective. This is a space for people who are done outsourcing their lives to fear, doubt, and hesitation. Subscribe and start showing up as someone who trusts themselves enough to keep going. Because the moment you believe in yourself, life stops happening to you and starts responding to you.